in Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their Contact Us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You've got used to one segment of good takes in the morning, but now there's a full show of good takes at night. Welcome into Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back in. Raff's Good Take on Sports, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We do got NFL playoffs on the brick and mortar. It is currently the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans, 7-6. Low scoring affair so far. Third quarter, 10 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Texans lead by 1. All right, Chris Raff, let's bring you in here. How's it going on Monday, January 12th?
It's going pretty good. I think I was thinking about it before we came on air. I think this is my favorite part of the year for sports. I mean, it's just.
Oh, I thought you were going to say favorite part of the day, but that's fine.
It might be my favorite part of the day too.
Don't tell your wife. That's fine, Raff.
See my man Harrison. That's always the best. But I mean, just think about it. You got NFL playoffs, wild card weekend. I mean, those games were incredible for the most part. I mean, the 16-3 or the Patriots Chargers game, maybe not as exciting, but man, the first 4 games of the weekend were stellar. And then you got Nebraska basketball, your 8th ranked Nebraska basketball team. I mean, I'll be honest with you. That game, when they went down 16, I kind of was like, hey, they've played hard the last, month or so. They've had some tough games, came back against Ohio State. Maybe their legs just aren't there. It's a road game. I think there was so many excuses that, maybe prior teams might have made, but then there comes Nebraska storming back. Jamarcus Lawrence, the hot hand. It just incredible game there. Nebraska pulling off that victory against Indiana. I'm living in bizarro world. Indiana, football powerhouse. Nebraska, basketball powerhouse.
Yeah, I don't know what dark magic they did in the offseason to allow this to happen. Like, I know some people put out there, like, if Bob Knight and Tom Osborne were, hanging out, and they didn't know what the future held, and you were to pull them at their peaks of those sports, be like, hey, when we get to 2026, Indiana is going to be like one of the best football schools, and Nebraska basketball is going to be one of the best basketball schools. They've been like, all right, something went horribly awry, but it is telling. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, you credit Lenzer, Hoiberg for the success of how good the basketball team's been, but I was with you, Raff. I was like, boy, they're down 16, and this was after the half because they were down at the half, and then Indiana was the first one to throw the punch to start the half, and then they're down 16 points, and you're looking around like, you're not happy, but you're not like, this is outrageous. This was a really good run, and maybe they just ran out of gas. It's tough to win road games, especially down there in Assembly Hall, and all of a sudden it was Jamarcus Lawrence. Sanford starts hitting some big threes. Frager really puts the pin down at the end. And even Rick Bass, who didn't play great down the stretch, he started making a lot of really great post moves. He started off hot, but then more importantly, he finished pretty hot as well. So I'm with you, Raff. I wasn't saying they can't win, but I was like, boy, this is going to be a tough mountain to climb. And 16-0 sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I was just like, well, it's been a great run. We all know that a loss is eventually going to happen. I mean, undefeated basketball teams. I mean, they don't happen all that often, and I mean, everybody knows it's coming. But then it's just something. What happens is when you start to get that win streak, then you start to believe that you can't be beat, and then next thing you know, I mean, just the way they just kept on playing was just to me it was just incredible, because we've seen so many prior teams in the past where we've had such anticipation that, hey, we can get this win, and then they get behind and you just don't see that quote unquote that dog in them. And man, the way they just continue to fight, and they're so gritty, so gutty. I mean, Frager, the first half, I mean, you didn't hear much from him, if anything. And then next thing you know, late game heroics, there he is, dropping a 3. That dunk was, wild. I mean, it
started with that rebound. I'm sure you remember that offensive rebound was aggressive. Like, give me that. We're going to take the lead right here. And then he did. I think that was a shot to give the Huskers to break over the top. But yeah, I mean, they just find a lot of ways to win. And I think one of the differences is like the defense has always been pretty good, but they really ratchet up in the second half, and they got an offense that can bail them out of deficits now. So as long as they take care of things on defense, which they have done in this year and in years past, they have enough 3-point shooters that if they get going, they can really come back from some major deficits.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And what's crazy about it too is, I mean, look at Rink Mass, for instance. I don't think he's played his best basketball yet. I mean, it's crazy to say, but he's struggling a little bit. I think he had, 6 for 13 against Michigan State from 3, but since then he's like 2 for 20. So I mean, he's got some 3-point, I guess, many issues, but sooner or later he's going to break out of that slump. So I mean, it's just funny just to see, each player just, kind of takes that baton and runs with it. So yeah, I'm excited. I mean, they got Oregon tomorrow, 8:00 at PBA.
We will have post game right here, 93.7 Ticket. Quick plug. We will certainly have post game for that.
That's the way we do it right here.
Absolutely, here till midnight.
So yeah, so that should be good. And then I think Northwestern is next. I think after Oregon, I believe. I think it's Northwestern. I think.
Yeah, I'll give you the slate right here. So coming up for the Huskers as they go 16-0, trying to keep that undefeated streak. The next one, Tuesday, as you said, at home versus Oregon. And I think there's only like 2 games left that aren't sold out. So if you want to watch this team at the Vault, you better go get your tickets now. Oregon at home, then Northwestern on the road, then Washington at home, Minnesota on the road, and number 4 Michigan on the road. That's kind of that tough stretch. And then you get number 13 Illinois right after at home. So it's going to be a little bit tough. Like Oregon, they're not a great team. You get them at home, you like your chances there. Northwestern, any game on the road's tough. Washington at home, you like that. But then Minnesota's been kind of frisky this year, and that's on the road as well. And then you got to go play Michigan on the road. Michigan has kind of fallen a little bit from how dominant they were early, but it's still a really, really good team. That's going to be, I don't like projecting, but if we make it to Michigan and we beat Michigan and we're still undefeated, I mean, my Lord.
That'll be wild. Be wild. And then the big news today in Nebraska is everyone, I guess, saying their final goodbyes to Dylan Raiola as he makes his way to Eugene, Oregon for the Oregon Ducks. So I guess some people, I guess, got their wish and some people did not get their wish, I guess you'd say. So
yeah, it's fascinating. I know we've been putting some clips out and I love our ticket listeners. I love them to death. But every now and then some people are like, why are you guys talking about him anymore? He's not here anymore. I'm like, oh, it's still relevant news. We're on here for 18 hours a day. Yeah, I think it's fair to point out that he's now an Oregon Duck.
Well, here's the deal. To all those people that are like, why are you still talking about him? When he finally gets in, don't know what, Dante Moore is going to do if he's going to declare for the NFL draft. What happens there. But I guarantee you, if Dylan Raiola gets in and starts starting, everybody is going to be looking at the stat page, either after the game or the next day, or I don't even know how they do it without newspapers, but people are going to be checking to see how is Dylan Raiola doing at Oregon. I mean, it will still be the talk of the town. I guarantee it.
Oh, of course. If he starts balling out next season, people are going to be talking about it. The same people that don't want to hear about him anymore. Best of luck to Dylan Raiola. I've gotten out of the business of just being grumpy for players not having loyalty, because we talked about it a lot on this show, Raff. To expect a loyalty in today's generation, you're doomed to be upset.
Well, here's the deal about this with loyalty too. This is what I go back to with Dylan Raiola. Is he came to Nebraska when Nebraska in no shape, form, or fashion should have even had any chance at getting Dylan Raiola. And
that football program sucked. Like, I'll just say that. We all knew it was bad.
People are going to look back on it and be like, well, he never did, what he was supposed to do and da-da-da-da-da. But the thing is maybe he's looking at it now too, saying, well, maybe if I would have went, to Georgia, so to say, and had a team around him, So I give kudos to him that, he came to Nebraska and gave it a try. It didn't work out, in the way that he wanted it to. But I wish him all the best. I hope the best for him. And that's all you can do. But these people that have all this, this hate towards them, it's like I don't understand it. Like the guy, like I revert back to the USC game, him trying to go back into the game and he has a broken leg. It's like when people questioning, his commitment, it's like I never had any question to Dylan Raiola's commitment to Nebraska. So that's my 2 cents. I know a lot of people will be like, well, he made so much money and he didn't do as much as what was expected, but he didn't exactly have, the greatest, supporting cast a lot of the time either. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, he came to Nebraska, and when he first came, everyone was excited. And if you say you weren't, you're probably lying to yourself, or you're part of that 1% that truly did not think he would fit here. Then, all right, fair enough, whatever. You can have your opinion, but 99% of us were excited. Yeah. Those first few games, people were really excited. And then all of a sudden we started having some protection issues. And then everyone's like, oh, this guy stinks. We need TJ Lateef. TJ Lateef goes in there. He beats UCLA. Everyone's like, see, told you. Then we get 3 tough opponents. Nothing against TJ Lateef, but whose fault was that there? I mean, do we put in Dylan Raiola? Does that fix everything? Like, still probably not, but it just shows you that, what Dylan Raiola was doing was not the reason Husker football was losing a lot of ball games. And I think people just started pinning him for the reason we were losing. And then you put in TJ Lateef and we get absolutely wiped out 3 weeks in a row. So relax a little bit on the I mean, you cannot like his play or what some things, but like the full on hate is such a bizarre behavior that
It's
I'll
so
never
weird.
fully understand.
It's so weird to me. And then Harrison, there's one thing that I'm just a little surprised about with you tonight.
What's that?
I cannot believe you don't have a Bears shirt on.
Oh, you know what? I wore so much. I've been wearing so much Bear stuff. It's all in the laundry. Every single one. That's all getting ready for the wash. If I would have worn it today, it would have stunk because I was sweating through that gear Saturday night, DP. I mean, I had the pit stains and everything, and I was hydrated. I was
Did
not.
you just call me DP?
Oh, did I really?
Well, you know,
Owner of the station.
I was like, he just called me DP. Hey, how did that go for you? I mean, was there a time of that game or at halftime were you sitting there going, well, we got to get a draft pick next year. We got to do this. We got to do that. Did you ever go into next year mode, or did you have total belief when they were down 21-3 that maybe there was that possibility that Caleb Williams could lead the Bears to a victory?
Unwavered faithfulness is where I stood, and it paid out. Like, obviously I was nervous. Like, I did text my family, boy, not looking great right now. But then I got a few more follow-up texts and I said, there's still hope. And that was the last thing I said before they won the game. So, I mean, if you're a Bears fan, just wait. I know it doesn't ever feel like it. We've been in this situation so many times, though, where it's like, if we just wait, it's been turning out in our favor. And I think NFL is a game of adjustments. And I know it's a cliche thing to say, but you saw some beautiful play calling from Ben Johnson. That play where DJ Moore got wide open to finally give the Bears the lead, that was a result of just scheming up some of the first half and then a couple second half plays on those screen passes to just catch them falling asleep. I mean, it was a chess match between LaFleur and Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson just won the chess match. So I was ecstatic. As the game goes along, the Bears get better. And that's been the case for just about every single game this season. And playoffs was no different. The game went on. The Packers got a little bit. I will tell you this much. I don't know what the hell the defensive line did. The first half, they couldn't do anything. And in the second half, like, Josh Jacobs couldn't get anything going. And the defensive line was getting in the backfield. That was the thing I was, probably most surprised by was I don't know what the defensive line did during halftime, but they looked completely new in that second half.
You know what's also crazy about that game is I know this was a little bit before your time here, but you have like stuff that you remember from like a long time ago. And so what I always remember I'm a Broncos fan, been a Broncos fan since, 1978, 79, somewhere around that area. But I have remembrances of like NFL games and situations and stuff like that. That game Saturday night at Soldier Field the crowd reminded me so much of the 85 Bears playoff run. I think they had the Rams at home and the Redskins, I believe, were both home games, but just the way that crowd was, it kind of took me back to that time, just the way their crowd was on Saturday night. I mean, that place was ruckus. I mean, I was impressed, but it was just cool how it kind of just took me back in time. All we needed was Jim McMahon with a Pluto headband on or something like that. We'd have been right back in 1985.
Oh, it was a huge factor too. I know I was texting, my other big Bears supporter, Jeff Essink, throughout the game. He's been my text.
He gave up.
He did. I don't know if you listen to Fitness Fanatics, but Nicole was up
to the whole episode.
Oh, she was up to here on his the way he was watching the game. And I will say, I love the guy, Jeff Essink, but sometimes I got to put my phone down during the games because Jeff, he's got things to say, and I just need to stay in the moment. But, I lost my train of thought there completely because I was thinking about Jeff Essink. Oh, on the crowd. It was huge because I was texting Jeff, when they only had the one timeout and they were on their last drive. I was like, if we can get them a tackle in bounds and force them to use that timeout, they are in trouble. Because good luck getting the play calls in when you don't have any timeouts and you're in that atmosphere. And then what happened on that last couple of times late in that game? Delay games, move them back. Like, that crowd was a huge problem. So it was awesome. I don't think I've ever in my lifetime seen that stadium going that ruckus. I mean, it was electric. That's an NFL instant classic game. And obviously everything that led up to it just made the fan base even crazier. But I mean, that's probably by far the most noise and just chaos I've seen happening in Soldier Field from that fan base.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. If you want to know what it was like in 1985, that right there on Saturday night was what 1985 felt like. I mentioned Jim McMahon, but I remember, I think it was Wilbur Marshall recovering a fumble and taking it, to the house. It just had just that feeling, that same feeling that those playoff games back in 85 felt like. So congratulations to the Bears.
Old school. And shout out to your Broncos, Raff. Like, look at us.
Yeah,
we're getting ready to watch some more football.
Yeah, those buys feel good. I mean,
I imagine. So does beating your rival in the Green Bay Packers. That feels electric. But I will say, even to all the Green Bay Packers fans, you can't deny that this is fun. Maybe you get back next year, but the rivalry is so back alive. And I wish more teams would do this. Like, you don't see jersey swaps between any Bears player or Packers player. You don't see even Matt LaFleur and Ben Johnson, like that handshake.
Yeah,
that's nothing new. That's been every game. Like, they just flat out say, we don't like each other. We're not going to act like we do. That's what football used to be. And it's kind of fun to see that come back alive a little bit.
Well, and also too, it's like with this rivalry for a long time, it was slanted, towards, the Brett Favre's, the Aaron Rodgerses. But now you're looking at the next, probably 10, 12, 15 years. You got Jordan Love versus Caleb Williams. Every single one of these games will probably be an instant classic because both these young quarterbacks, I mean, they both can play, and you're never out of it with both of those quarterbacks. So I mean, this rivalry is going to take on, I think, just a whole new level of rivalry over these next 10, 12, 15 years, just because of those two quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Love, he didn't get a ton of heat in that game, and I thought he played pretty well, but the Bears could have lost that game. There was a beautiful dot that Jordan Love threw in a crucial situation. Just dropped it right off the hands. But Jordan Love put his team in a pretty good position, and if you want to talk about the play calling, that's another thing. But yeah, I mean, Jordan Love's good. Yeah, in that game, I thought he did more than what he needed to, but his teammates kind of let him down on some of those plays. And then the offensive line, you had a misfumbled snap at the end, and they had some things go awry. But you know what? They had their third string center in there, and you wonder why you get the fumbled snap. Well, that's the kind of stuff that happens. Now, every team's beat up and hurt in the playoffs, but I've seen a lot of Packers fans, and because I'm feeling generous, like, that team's going to be fine. Unless, what do? I know a lot of them want to fire LaFleur, which is surprising. I'm not going to go that far.
No, I think you got to stick with him. He gets his team to the playoffs. His record over his first, 3 or 4 years now is one of the top records in, the history of the NFL. But then you'd heard rumor that the president of the Packers' son is the agent of John Harbaugh. So then you were starting to hear some murmurs of that maybe there was a Harbaugh connection. But now it sounds like they were meeting today trying to get LaFleur extended. But yeah, I think you got to stick with LaFleur. I mean, it's a tough game to lose, but it's one of those. I think the Packers are still on the rise. Plus, you got to think back on the Packers too. Is they lost Micah Parsons, and I mean that was their integral part of their defense, and losing him. I mean, you got to think
they lost Tucker Kraft, an integral part of their offense, one of the better tight ends in the league, and then they're down to their third string center. Like, they had some issues they had to get through. Like, that's why I'm a little bit surprised. Now, if you want to get rid of McManus for missing 2 field goals in a BAT, that really hurt. Like, yeah, we could talk about that. But LaFleur, I'm not there yet. Like, he still found a way to get him to 21-3 lead. I know he blew it, but that team's banged up. I mean, they were one of the more hurt teams in the playoffs.
Well, talk about being banged up. Kyle Shanahan is one of the best coaches in the league, right? I mean, what he is doing with that team, with all the injuries, and able to go into Philadelphia and get that victory. I mean, the coaching job he is doing is incredible. I mean, I don't even know their wide receiving core. I mean, they were down to, I forgot the receiver that dropped the pass. He hadn't caught a pass since 2021, I believe, and I can't remember what his name was, but I heard that and I was just like, wow, that's 5 years, and here he has him in the game. He dropped the ball, of course, but still, just that he's got players going that deep in the depth chart. It's crazy, and that he's able to get those wins. But then the best is AJ Brown and him and Sirianni going
Let's
after
wait
it.
for that. We'll talk about that on the second segment because that's a lot to get into, Raff. And it was
It's just so much sports.
This year's wide receiver diva. I think if we had the wide receivers diva award, I think I might know the guy who won it this year. We'll talk about that next. Don't go anywhere. This is Raff's Good Take on Sports 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
And electrical.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
I got a bite! It's a big one, Dad!
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their Contact Us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Bagels & Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
Welcome back in. Harrison runs on the 1s and 2s. You can watch the streams as well. Facebook, YouTube, XL, Channel 961. If you do, you'll see I need a haircut. Getting a little bit mangy up top here. 402-464-5685. That is the Sartor Heyman text line. We got Chris Raff, the host, as always. Talk some NFL. We're going to keep talking a little bit of NFL. Left it off talking about the impressiveness that is Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers doing what he can with that injured roster, going all the way what feels like to 10th stringers at times. But problems with the Eagles. Everyone said they were the favorite because, well, I shouldn't say everyone. A lot of people are in the mindset of that is the defending champs. The road goes through them. Well, it took 1 round. They're out. What'd you see with the Eagles? What all went down? And I know we highlighted a little bit of the beef with the head coach and A.J. Brown, the wide receiver.
I see that it is going to be a very interesting offseason in Philadelphia because I think A.J. Brown, I know Tom Brady said the relationship is great between those two, but I have never seen a head coach run down the sideline after a drop pass to basically berate a player. I mean, that right there, that's new. I mean, I've seen players run off the field and, the coach, give him a little lip service, but for a coach to run down there and greet him as he's coming to the sideline, that was new for me. And then after the game, when they asked Jalen Hurts about the offense coordinator, Kevin Patullo, he basically did not endorse him for next year. Basically said, hey, we'll let Howie Roseman, and we'll let them deal with that. So he basically, kind of put it out there that I don't think Patullo's job is safe. And that would be, another offense coordinator in the books for Philadelphia. So I think come next year, I think you're going to see probably a little bit different Philadelphia team. I just kept on holding on to that with Jalen Hurts there, he's going to find a way to get it finished, but it kind of fell. And I think that they're really going to look back on this team. I think winning the Super Bowl is great and they're going to remember that, but sometimes the losses stick out more. And I think this is one where they're going to look back, 5 or 10 years and say, man, we had a golden opportunity for a repeat. And we put our own, I don't say individual, but almost too much, of the outside stuff, the outside noise, I think got to this team a little too much. And I think that's what really hurt them this year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to them next year.
Yeah, I'm not buying Tom Brady that those guys had a great relationship. I mean, they've kind of seemed like odd ends all season long. Really midway through, you started to see it more and more. And I don't know, that to me looked like a conversation with a wide receiver who disagreed with the coach saying, I need more opportunities. And then you have a crucial drop like that, and I think Nick Sirianni lit him up about. Again, I have no idea, but I just know if I'm in a position and I got a guy constantly on me about how I'm not giving enough opportunities, I need to get the ball through him, and then he does something like that. I'm fired up. I'm like, listen, here's your opportunities, and you just dropped it. You just blew it right there. Not a good look for the head coach, though. But I'm just assuming. Again, I have no idea what was all said there, but you've been seeing that frustration build up all year. And maybe A.J. Brown is right. Maybe he's not right. But I like to give the wide receiver diva award every single year. Last year it was C.D. Lamb. This year it was A.J. Brown. Like, it just never meshed. It always seemed to be a problem. And, like, I'm sorry, the GOAT that is Tom Brady. I'm not buying that. Did not look like a great relationship. I don't think, if you started screaming at your wife or your wife started screaming at you during the show here, I would have been like, that's a great relationship. Those guys really respect each other. Like, that didn't look like a nice relationship. That's just my opinion. Obviously I don't know the intel.
Well, then too, he also had a chance to totally redeem himself.
Yep.
The third down play at the end of the game. It was like, okay, they would have forgot about the first two drops. I mean, Tom Brady can talk about it was windy and the ball moved a half an inch and, talk about that all you want, but I'm sorry, those two are catchable balls, especially in the wind. To put them in that vicinity, you've got to help your quarterback in that instance, and you got to make those catches. But then when you have the chance to totally redeem yourself and the ball hits you right in the hands, I mean, you've got to make that catch. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Eagles this year. And then, man, I'll tell you what, flip into another game. I like turning the channel so fast. The Carolina game, I mean, I'll give all the credit in the world to Bryce Young. I know they didn't get the victory, but what he's been through the last couple of years and putting himself, back in the talk of a playoff quarterback, that's great, just mental well-being. I mean, to go through what he's went through and to have themselves, they put him, right on the edge of a victory there against the Rams. But yeah, it was, I can't say enough about Bryce Young and just, the way he's kept himself, going with what he's went through. I mean, he was benched, and for a second there, you thought maybe he was going to be jettisoned out of Carolina altogether. And now to, make himself that franchise quarterback to which Carolina drafted. I mean, can't say enough good things about Bryce Young.
Yeah. And he only got back by luck,
Yeah.
and I can't remember who was the starter.
Was it Andy Dalton or
I think you might be right. I think it was Andy Dalton, what are you doing? You're not competing. Like, why are you running with Andy Dalton? Like, I get it, maybe, but what's that going to do for you? Get you a few more wins so you can have a worse draft pick so you can not make the playoffs? Might as well go with Bryce Young and see if he's got it or not. And they didn't. And then Dalton gets hurt. He goes in there and then he revives his career, which I thought he should have never had to do to begin with. Unless you have another young option who's playing better. It's not like the Browns where they had Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders. Like, it was Bryce Young or we draft for another one. But they said, we'll bring in Andy Dalton and maybe get 2 more wins than we should. So you're absolutely right. He has had one of the worst roads to try to get a career up and running. He gets down there. There's not a lot of talent around him. Hey, we're going to also get rid of some of these best players around you. So now you really got nothing. And it just took some time. Now they're in a position where I know they finished the year with a losing season, but I was in here with Caleb Smith, the former Husker wrestler, and, listen to him talk about his Carolina Panthers. He's a big Panthers fan. He feels great just to see this. So this was a huge milestone for the Panthers, and they almost took down the Rams. That was a lot of people's favorite to win the Super Bowl, not just make the Super Bowl, but win it. And they only lost by 3 points. That team's good. I better than what the record, I think, shows. They were a little bit up and down early on, but I think next year they feel pretty good at about at least pulling off a winning record.
Oh, huge springboard to the franchise. That performance, I know they didn't get the victory, but it's definitely going to be a springboard to now they believe, and like you said, the Rams being one of those picks to win the Super Bowl and to give them everything they wanted, that is huge for that franchise. So Carolina is going to be a thorn in a lot of people's sides here, for the next years to come, just because of that game. So even though they didn't get the victory for a franchise, for just the springboard effect of it all, I think it was huge. Because if they would have, they came out, they were down 14-0. If they would have laid an egg, they would have went into the offseason kind of, ho hum. But man,
it would have felt fraudulent if they laid an egg. They would have felt like a fraudulent playoff team, but they looked legit. And I think that was the big part.
And remember, they had to hope and pray, to get the for the Falcons to get the victory over the Saints there, just so they could be in the playoffs. So this kind of validified it that they were a playoff team. So yeah, I'd keep your eye on the Panthers in the years to come, because I think they will be on the up and up. The only thing that ruins us now is bad management, bad ownership. So hopefully, everything stays smooth there, and they should be good to go.
Well, we know Tepper always runs a tidy ship. That's a joke. That makes me very nervous, the ownership there. Yeah, I don't know. That stuff falls apart quickly because the Browns found their secret sauce and they self-imploded intentionally, which made zero sense. Like, they had it. I don't know how many people watch Family Guy, but there's always that one classic skit where they got the free prize and they can either go on the yacht trip or they can have what's in the mystery box. Then Peter grabs the box. He's like, well, what if it's a yacht? Well, obviously you already have one. That's what the Browns did with Baker Mayfield. They gambled to go get a quarterback. You have one right in front of you. The Panthers, they got a guy in Bryce Young. Now, hopefully they're not foolish. They build around him. If he has a bad year and he gets a little bit hurt, hopefully they don't panic and send him off and go try to find another quarterback, because they have one right now, and Bryce Young. And I'm not saying he's going to, be a great, but he's worth some time and run for what he's shown. And everything he had to work through, I mean, that's a tough individual at this point. You guys kind of put him through the ringer. If he's able to come out alive, I think you might have found a guy who's got some mental fortitude. It's not a guarantee, but it's a lot better than going to the mystery box, which for whatever reasons, a lot of teams love to do. And always blows my mind. But selfishly, the Rams now have the Bears, but they're on the road in Soldier Field. After what you saw in that Panthers game, do you still look at the Rams the same way, or do you think the Bears got a real shot to take them down as well?
I still look at the Rams just for the fact that they have Matthew Stafford, and they also have Sean McVay. I mean, Sean McVay, I put him in that category of the Kyle Shanahan type offense coordinators. Like, they find weaknesses in defenses. They come from the Mike Shanahan coaching tree. So there's always that. But the thing is too, is the huge thing is that home field advantage and going to Chicago. And if they have that atmosphere, what they had Saturday night, the Bears are going to be tough to beat. Plus, the Bears have that confidence. If the Rams do get an early lead, that they have that confidence that they can come back. And when a team believes that they can come back, that's half the battle right there. So I think that game's going to be, I hope that ends up being a night game. I don't think they'll announce the times probably until after tonight's game, but I hope that is a night game. Is that the Sunday game, or is that the Saturday game?
I believe that's Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah. So I hope it's the Sunday game. I hope it'd be a night game in Chicago, but I'm guessing that it probably won't be, just because it's in the Midwest, because I'm thinking the Broncos on Saturday will probably get the early time, it's a 3:30 slot or the 2:30 or whatever it is. But we'll see how it all plays out, because usually they try to make the teams further out west with the night slots just for the time difference. But we'll see.
Yeah, for my sake, I hope I work Sundays, so make it later, ideally for myself. Otherwise, DP, you're going to have to find somebody for at least for a couple hours and get out of here. Because I'm not missing this. You know how long I've waited? This has been fun. It is a fun playoff. I mean, whatever you may think, like, you got no Mahomes, obviously no Lamar Jackson. You're looking at some of these younger quarterbacks like Jordan Love. I know he got eliminated. Well, he's been there a few times. But Bo Nix, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young was in there. Like, this is a bizarre playoffs. And now the Eagles are eliminated. So the defending champs are gone as well. You got a bunch of teams with a real opportunity to seize what could be the next chapter of the NFL. Unless some of these teams, I think the Chiefs will rebound. But the Eagles, like, I don't know. The Ravens, John Harbaugh's gone. I don't know. The Bills, you better win this year. I'll just say that much for the Buffalo Bills. Like, this is the year for you guys to go and do the dang thing. But with that being said, Raff, I think we can maybe squeak in a little bit more NFL playoffs on the other side, and then go ahead and get into Raff's good take on sports. But we are up to the clock here. Don't go anywhere. This is Raff's good take on sports. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, to brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
It's basketball season, and Salt Mine City is your pregame and postgame headquarters in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Get ready for the game with their big, fatty 7-ounce hamburger or try a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, your basketball headquarters, now open at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
Welcome back in the final segment. We still got NFL in the brick and mortar. 9 minutes, 30 seconds left to go between the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. 17-6, Steelers down. Are you surprised at all, Chris Raff?
A little bit. I thought being at home, I thought home field advantage there, but I saw that they recovered a fumble for a touchdown. I guess the thing that's crossing my mind right now is this Aaron Rodgers' last game? I mean, is this the final plays of Aaron Rodgers? Will we see him again next year? I mean, going into the year, he kind of made it sound like this might be a swan song. And now watching this and, seeing that, that they only have 6 points tonight, is this going to be one of those things where the Steelers are going to say, okay, we're ready to move on from you? Are they going to make a push to try and re-sign him in the offseason? I know the game's not over with yet. There's still 9 minutes. Maybe there's another Aaron Rodgers magical comeback left inside that right arm, but it's crazy to think that, we might be seeing the end of Aaron Rodgers tonight. We're just, not sure how that all play out and, what he'll do in the offseason, be that he only signed a 1-year contract. Is he going to push it out like he did last year? I would assume that if he does decide to come back, he's not going to want to go to mini camps all that much. So it'll be interesting to see how that all works for the Steelers.
Yeah, it'll be crazy. I mean, if it ends today and if they don't do anything more on offense, it's kind of a womp to finish the career with just 6 points on what is going to be a future Hall of Famer. Kind of feels like this might be it for him. Maybe another team. I don't know. It's up to Rodgers, I guess, but I don't know how intrigued Rodgers would be about going out there another time.
I think that the only way, if he plays again next year, I think it's going to be contingent on actually 2 factors. I think the first factor will be, will the Steelers want to re-sign him? Contingent number 1. Contingent number 2, if the Steelers decide to move on from Mike Tomlin, I don't think he'd come back. So I think you got to have Tomlin there and the Steelers interested in him to give him interest to come back. I don't think going to another team, I think it's probably a little too late in his career now to go to another team. I think it's the Steelers or bust if that's what he decides to do.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I'm him, like, I tried it with the Jets. That was a disaster. The Pittsburgh Steelers was a disaster, but I think it's fair to say if it ends tonight, disappointing.
Very much.
And, if there's a third team, like, I'd be kind of testy on wanting to even go there just because the last 2 stops haven't really turned out great and arguably hurt my legacy more than it aided my legacy. So
yeah, I just don't see a team out there for the circumstances. I know that, they've not put up a lot of points here tonight, but for circumstance wise, I don't think there's another team out there that would be calling him up to say, hey, do you want to come play quarterback for us?
No, I'm blanking. There's no one.
Because you got to think the Raiders will go Mendoza, unless they wanted to bring, if they brought Aaron Rodgers in to teach him the way of quarterbacking, maybe the Raiders
pay him like a nice deal because it's probably going to be another 1 year, or you can go get Malik Willis, who's got a bigger ceiling because he's just younger and he's shown some good stuff on tape, and he's going to be a lot cheaper. It's a tough spot for Rodgers. They're down. We'll see if they can come back.
But there's always an interesting offseason in the NFL, so it'll be fun.
How's AD doing? Do you give him a hard time when the Steelers are being bad, or do you just let him be?
No, we got kind of a gentleman's agreement that he don't give me troubles with the Broncos. I don't give him troubles with the Steelers. We support each team, and then if we play each other, then it's on. But no, I don't. I understand where he's at. I mean, it sucks, when your offense isn't playing well, because I mean, he's looking at it right now. The defense is a championship defense. I mean, look, they played so well, and then you're not getting it from your offense. And then you think back to, DK Metcalf missing the final 2 games. They could have clinched, that on week 16, but they didn't, they didn't have him or week 17 or week 16. Yeah. 16. So yeah, it's stuff like that. So we'll see how it plays out. What do we got? We got 4 minutes left. So yeah, it's probably, we might be seeing the end of Aaron Rodgers possibly.
Yeah. It's not looking great here. Well, at least you got his back, because I know AD is going to get hell when he comes to the office tomorrow if they lose this game. So he's got you at the very least. Raff, what is your good take on January 12th?
Okay, everybody. Today's Raff's good take goes out to a true legend. We lost Jim Hartung this past weekend. Jim, just an amazing person, 2-time Olympian, 4-time national champion at Nebraska, 2-time all-around national champion at Nebraska. If you make the Mount Rushmore of Nebraska athletes, I think Jim Hartung is on that Mount Rushmore, not just for the sport, but I'm talking for the entire university. Jim's he battled health problems at Nebraska for his assistant coach for 19 years. He battled health problems, but never brought his spirits down. Just an incredible person. So Jim, rest in peace, brother. You are Raff's good take.
Yeah, I'll double down on that. I think it'd be a disservice to bring anybody up after that. Obviously, we've talked about him before right here on this show. Everything he did, and just really humble. I'll say that much. You can make, go get help, and people would be more than glad to help him out through some of those tougher times, but he never did. To your point, Raff, he always kept the spirits up, never made it about himself when he certainly could have done so. So I'll double down on that good take, because that is a great take. Don't go anywhere. We'll wrap it up here. DeMarne Pierce-Snell up next, 93.7 The Ticket.